Hey everybody, what's going on? So it's my latest video, and I know that I haven't done one since alpha, and now we just had beta. And beta went much better than alpha did. It seemed like we had a lot more systems that were in place, and the presentation went along well. So now we're in the home stretch. We only have another month left, actually 3 weeks of production time before we finalize the game. We actually just got a working build today, so that's pretty cool. I don't think we're going to have time to have people play test the game, but in all honesty, it really doesn't matter anymore. There's not really any new features that we could add to the game, and the GP staff, the GP Games, the Final Project staff, is actually having us remove a bunch of stuff. It's not really on the art side, it's more the development side. A lot of the systems that we were trying to implement just were kind of halfway done. We had a lot of maybe like 70-80% of everything that we wanted to put in the game in there, and they said if it wasn't 100%, we can't use it, so we had to hack it off. We had a lot planned, and we learned a lot in this process because sometimes you just can't have everything that you want inside the game at the end. So there's a lot that we had to remove because there's just no time. It will be really polished. That will definitely be. We'll have a polished game, but as far as the gameplay is concerned, it's not much. But it's cool because you just free roam, fly around the city. So it's pretty awesome. In terms of what's going on with our other class, the game cinematics class, that class, man, let me tell you, last month, like the month that just ended, we had that stacked with Final Project, so we had to do both classes at the same time. That class failed 7 out of 12 artists in Final Project, so and I'm one of them. We have to repeat the class immediately, so we're going into the class right now. But there was so much confusion about what we had to do as far as like the curriculum is set up. So a lot of us did vehicles. I did an Apache helicopter, and I was really right from the very beginning very concerned about poly count. One of the teachers told me 30,000 polygons. The other one told me 80. So I mean, there's a 50,000 poly difference in terms of that. So I was really kind of up in the air about like what my poly count should have been. Basically, I have to repeat that class. Now, repeating it again, what does that mean? Well, you don't pay for it, so that's cool. I take it stacked with the last month of Final Project, so it's not holding my back. It's not holding back my graduation, and it's not costing me any money. It's going to be another grueling month of having 2 classes and trying to complete both at the same time. They do not let you work on the project that you worked previously. Now that's cool because like I did a helicopter and I could put the helicopter, kit bash it and put it in another scene that I want to do, just off to the side or whatever. And I'm going to work on an environment piece this month. I was tossed up between something that's science fiction and something that's kind of a little bit more, I don't know, organic. So I don't know which route I'm going to take yet. So not really too sure. A lot of people ask me whether or not it would be more beneficial to pick CA over game art, and I really don't know how to answer that. It really depends on what you want. The computer animation degree, they don't get an aspect of working in games at all. Like, it's very high poly stuff. So although you can model in high poly, you'll be able to model in low poly, sure, but you have to know what you're doing. I mean, Marcus from Gears of War was 11,000 tries. You know, somebody who can model something that's 11,000 tries and transfer map that to something, or high poly and then transfer map that to something that's 11,000 tries, that's not something you learn inside of CA. CA doesn't know anything about normal mapping. They don't really learn anything in terms of like optimizing geometry and being able to do the techniques that game artists do. And also texturing. Texturing is really big. You don't get any texturing classes inside of computer animation. They're pretty much all in game art. So if you want to be a modeler and you want to learn how to texture, I definitely think that game art is the better route for you if you want to work in games. If you want to work in movies, definitely stick with computer animation. But in terms of like switching from CA to GA to CA, it doesn't really. It just to each his own. You have to pick your own path. I'm very happy with the path that I chose because I learned how to work in games, and it's not just working in engine; it's learning all the things that they do inside of the industry, in the game industry that you really need. All the techniques that you need to know. You won't get that in CA. CA is very compositing and film and animation oriented. So if that's what you want to do, then CA will be a better choice for you. What I can tell you and what I tell everybody that I see at school who has seen my videos and have come to school to Full Sail is that work on as many assets that you possibly can very early in the program. So by the time you get to demo reel creation or final project, you don't really have to worry. It's kind of like a failsafe, just in case that you don't have the time to do it while you're in final project. You'll at least be working on it until you get to final project. So start as early as you can. in terms of creating a better demo reel, absolutely. Computer animation is structured so well that by the time you leave, you'll have a polished demo reel. Game development and CA have very structured finals classes. The only ones that don't is game art. Computer animation will get a month of animation pre-production, which basically you lay out all 3 assets that you're going to do for your demo reel, and then each month after that, for 3 months, is an asset a month, or scene a month, depending on if you're in game art or whatever you're doing. And then that final month of school is demo reel creation, and you create your demo reel. Game art's not like that. Game art is basically we go into Final Project, and right before Final Project we create a scene, and it's kind of as our art test, and it kind of pushes us into the Final Project. So we say, okay, his art's good enough, push him into Final Project, and then in Final Project you're working on the game. In the second month of Final Project is when you have GCA, and that's the class that I just had, the Game Cinematics class. So it's kind of like right in the middle of, you get thrown into a pool. And then when the last month is done, which is this month coming up, the month after that is demo reel creation, and then we graduate. So there's really no set structure to the artist creating a demo reel. And in all honesty, I mean, speaking honestly, a game artist, yeah, is going to get a job based off of their artwork, and sometimes the artwork that comes out of a 5-month production here at Full Sail isn't going to get you a job because you work on very cartoony stuff, and it's really geared towards the development because of the fact that they get jobs based on systems and what they can implement inside the code. We get jobs based on our artwork and our demo reels. So really, it doesn't really work out for the artist. But however, the staff here is very understanding about that. My internal producers for the project were very understanding about that, and they're working with us as best as they can so that we can have enough time to create a polished demo reel. So that's something that is extremely important. But I'm sure the staff knows. Like I said, to me, they look at my videos and I'm just another spec. They don't care. They're just like, he's just a student. It's not a big deal. So I don't have any pull. It's not like I can do anything. They have critiques and stuff after every month that students fill out, and I'm sure they've heard this issue before. It just takes time. There are people in staff for Final Project that know that this problem exists. It's been brought up to many of the directors before, I'm sure, and I've been told that it has, and I'm sure that it is an issue. Together, game artist and development need to make a game, and they need to come together in Final Project, but there needs to be an equal playing ground between both. And honestly, I really believe, and I strongly believe, that you will have better looking games and better looking demo reels if they were separated. I believe that if the focus was on the demo reel before we got to demo or Final Project, that would provide a much better artwork for both sides, the demo reel and Final Project. So that's really all I have. For all those who I keep in contact with, I try to answer as many emails. I believe I'm caught up on the emails here. And that's another thing too, is that I don't do this for the school. I do this for myself. And this is a personal video log, okay? And I chose to do this. I take on the responsibility. And honestly, if I've inspired you to come to this college, that's great. I'm glad that I inspire people to come here, but don't think that I'm an admissions representative. I don't work for the school, so the only thing I can do is offer you my honest opinion in a lot of these things, and that is what I try to do for each and every one of you. And that is pretty much what I have for you guys. I've rambled on for almost 15 minutes. I'm going to have a lot of editing to do for this video, and I have work to do. So yeah, that is all I have. I will hit you up at gold, maybe before it. I don't know, depending on when the next time I need to do a video or vent or whatever. But I will talk to you all soon. Peace.